Hello K-pop fans. You all know that BTS is the group that brought HYBE to the peak of success. But in 2024, the drama behind HYBE's scenes made many people wonder, is BTS still the company's top priority that they built together? In today's video, we'll discuss shocking facts about BTS's contract, how HYBE is choosing other artists, and why the members are still staying despite the seemingly unfair situation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because today's discussion is going to be really hot. Okay, let's start from the beginning. In September 2023, HYBE officially announced that all 7 BTS members had renewed their exclusive contracts. Sounds good, right? But wait a minute. BTS's first contract with Big Hit Entertainment, which is now HYBE, started when they debuted in 2013. Then in 2018, they renewed their contract for another 7 years, which should have ended in 2024 or 2025. Now, what makes fans wonder is, why did this contract renewal announcement come in the middle of their military service? And more importantly, HYBE didn't reveal how long this new contract lasts. Is it another 7 years like before, or shorter? This is a big mystery that remains unanswered until now. What's even more interesting is that Bang Si-hyuk, HYBE's founder, once said in a forum in 2023 that he was very careful about talking about BTS's contract renewal because this group has a huge social impact. He even said, "The decision is in the members' hands." Wow, this means there's a possibility that BTS members have greater negotiating power than before. But the question is, if BTS has great negotiating power, why do they stay at HYBE? Especially after seeing how this company treats other artists? Now, let's get into the hotter part. While BTS was serving in the military from 2022 to mid-2025, HYBE focused on developing other artists. And it's very obvious that their priorities are starting to shift. 17, for example, became one of HYBE's biggest revenue sources. In 2023 and 2024, 17 managed to sell more than 10 million albums per year. This is an extraordinary record that made them the only K-pop group to achieve this number for 2 consecutive years. Then there's HYBE, who are also hugely successful. In 2024, they sold more than 5.45 million albums and ranked 8th on the US top albums, according to Luminate. Then there's Boy Next Door, who just debuted, but already sold 1 million albums in their first 18 months. And don't forget the girl groups. LE Seraphim did a world tour and performed on big international stages. ILLIT also debuted successfully. All these artists received huge attention from HYBE, but the most controversial is the New Jeans case. The group created by Min Hee-jin was one of the most popular and innovative girl groups in K-pop. They successfully changed the K-pop sound with songs that are softer, more sophisticated, and musical. The New York Times even called New Jeans the most innovative group in recent years. But what happened? HYBE and Min Hee-jin got into a massive war. Min was accused of trying to take full control of New Jeans and separate from HYBE. Eventually, Min was fired as CEO of ADOR, and New Jeans went through difficult times. What makes BTS fans angry is, why can HYBE give that much energy to the New Jeans drama, but not give the same effort to prepare the perfect BTS comeback? Let's look at the numbers. In 2024, HYBE recorded the highest revenue in their history, 2.25 trillion won, or about 1.58 billion US dollars. Wow, fantastic, right? But wait, their operating profit actually dropped 38% compared to the previous year. Why? HYBE said this was due to several things. BTS's military service that put them on hiatus, changes in artist composition with many new debuts, and massive investments in Weverse and gaming. This is very interesting. HYBE made the most money, but their profit dropped drastically. This means they spent heavily on things other than BTS. And in that report, HYBE clearly said they expect operating profit to increase in 2025 with BTS's comeback. So basically, HYBE is saying, we invested in other artists and other platforms while BTS was away, and we hope BTS comes back to save our profits. Sounds familiar? Yes. BTS has always been HYBE's financial savior. But do they get proportional treatment and respect? That's the big question. In 2023 alone, HYBE artists sold 43.6 million albums with huge contributions from BTS member solo activities like Jungkook, whose 7 exploded on global charts, Jimin with his Face album that broke various streaming records, and V with Layover, which was also hugely successful. BTS members, even during solo activities, are still HYBE's financial backbone. The year 2024 was a truly terrible year for HYBE's reputation. They were involved in various scandals that really damaged the company's image. First, there was the New Jeans and Min, He-Jean drama we already discussed. But what made this worse was HYBE's internal documents that leaked to the public. This document, called Weekly Music Industry Report, contained degrading comments about artists and idols from other agencies. This isn't just ordinary gossip. This document showed the toxic culture inside HYBE and how this company views their competitors. This scandal made many people question HYBE's business ethics. Then, Sungkwan from 17 even made an emotional Instagram post about how idols should be treated more as humans, not commodities. He said, "Being a celebrity is indeed a job I chose, and there are parts one have to bear, because I receive a lot of love. But I don't think this is a job where we have to endure to the point of self-destruction, until we're hurt to the point of death." Wow, that's a very strong statement from an artist under HYBE. And it should be noted, Sungkwan isn't just any artist. He's a member of 17 who is HYBE's cash cow after BTS. Then there were also bullying probe issues and various other controversies that basically wiped out HYBE's net profit in the third quarter of 2024, according to Billboard reports. HYBE's stock also dropped drastically. What worries BTS fans is, will HYBE's increasingly toxic environment be good for the mental health and creativity of BTS members when they come back later? Now, this is the million-dollar question. With all this drama, with HYBE clearly investing much more in other artists, why doesn't BTS just create their own label? In theory, BTS has enough money, fame, and fan base to be independent. They could even create their own agency, like many senior artists in the Korean entertainment industry have done. For example, IU has EDM Entertainment, and many senior actors and actresses have their own personal agencies. But there are several reasons why BTS might choose to stay. HYBE has incredible global infrastructure, from distribution, marketing, concert venues, to the Weverse platform. Building this from scratch takes years and very large investments. BTS probably doesn't want to waste time and energy on administrative matters like this. With their current status, BTS most likely has full creative control and much better profit sharing than their initial contract. They may have already negotiated a very profitable deal without having to bother creating their own company. Bang Si-hyuk discovered and shaped BTS. They struggled together from a small agency that was almost bankrupt to becoming the biggest entertainment conglomerate in Korea. There's an emotional bond and history that can't just be ignored. BTS members might prefer to focus on their creativity and music rather than having to worry about business and management aspects. By staying at HYBE, they can delegate business matters to professionals while they focus on creating. Over the years, BTS has worked with the same team. Producers, stylists, choreographers, managers, and hundreds of other staff. Leaving HYBE might affect the jobs of many people who have become their family. But remember, these are all speculations. We don't know exactly what's in the BTS members' minds and what their actual contract contains. Now, all eyes are on 2025. Jimin finished military service in December 2024, and the last members Jimin and Jungkook finish in mid-2025. HYBE has announced that they will fully support BTS group activities in 2025. But will expectations and reality match? Let's look at some concerns. After years in the military, BTS members definitely need time to adjust again. They've also explored their individual identities through solo projects. Do they still have the same chemistry? Do they still want to be BTS with the same group dynamics as before? With 17 in HYBE and other HYBE artists who now also have large fan bases, will there be competition for resources and attention? Remember, the New Jeans case showed that HYBE isn't always fair in distributing resources to their artists. BTS has already reached the highest peak in the global music industry. Grammy nominations, performances at the UN, Billboard records, and all other achievements. When they come back, fan and industry expectations will be very high. Can they deliver something bigger than before? Or will they take a more laid-back approach that's authentic to themselves? K-pop and global music have changed a lot in the last 3 years. New Jeans changed the K-pop sound to a softer and dreamier direction. 50-50 with Cupid showed the power of viral TikTok hits. Stray Kids dominated with a more hard-hitting sound. BTS is known as a trendsetter. But now, will they set new trends again, or will they look outdated? This is big pressure. This is the most important. Will HYBE really go all in for BTS's comeback, or will they continue to divide their attention to other artists? HYBE's financial report clearly says they expect profits to increase from BTS's comeback. But does that mean they will invest as much as needed to make a legendary comeback? Or do they just expect BTS to magically bring in money without maximum support? Now, let's compare the BTS HYBE situation with other artist agency dynamics in the K-pop industry. This is important to give perspective on whether what BTS is experiencing is unique or just common practice in this industry. Blackpink, the world's biggest girl group, has an interesting story with YG Entertainment. Their contract that started in 2016 should have ended in 2023. And like BTS, there was a lot of speculation about their contract renewal. Finally, in December 2023, YG announced that all 4 members renewed their contracts for group activities, but not for solo activities. This is super groundbreaking. This means for group comebacks and tours, they're still under YG. But for solo albums, acting, modeling, and individual projects, they're free. Jennie has even created her own label, ODD Atelier, for her solo activities. Lisa also established her own management company. This shows that top-tier artists now have bargaining power to negotiate more flexible terms. Can BTS do the same thing? Technically, yes. But so far, there's no indication they want to split group and solo activities like Blackpink. Super Junior is an interesting case study about longevity. They debuted in 2005 and are still active today. Several members have created their own agencies or moved to other agencies for solo activities, but they still reunite for group comebacks. Lee Took and Yoonhyuk stayed at SM Entertainment for group activities. Siwon joined SJ Label, a sub-label under SM. Chian left SM and joined Antenna. Ryo Wook created his own label. But remarkably, they can all still collaborate for Super Junior projects. This proves that a more flexible model can work. Members can pursue individual interests while still maintaining group identity. GOT7's story is one of the most inspiring. In 2021, all 7 members decided not to renew their contracts with JYP. Many thought this was the end of GOT7, but plot twist, they didn't disband. Each member joined different agencies for their solo activities, but they still hold the rights to the name GOT7. This is unprecedented in K-pop. Usually, the company holds the trademark for the group name. And what's more amazing, in 2022, they released a self-produced EP, GOT7, without help from a major label. They crowd-funded, self-produced, and self-promoted. And it was successful. This shows that there's an alternative path besides staying at a big company or completely disbanding. BTS could technically do the same thing if they wanted. What's interesting from all these comparisons is the industry is changing. Artists now have more options and bargaining power than 10 years ago. The traditional model where the company controls everything is slowly eroding. The fact that HYBE didn't reveal the duration of BTS's contract might indicate that the contract isn't traditional. Maybe there are special clauses that give BTS more freedom and control. We don't know for sure, but the possibilities are there. One thing that's often forgotten in discussions like this is, what do the BTS members themselves say about their future? RM, as the leader, often talks about BTS's identity and their future. In various interviews, he acknowledges that BTS experienced an identity crisis before their hiatus. He said they needed time to figure out who we are as individuals. In his solo album, Indigo, RM explored his personal identity as Kim Namjoon, not as RM from BTS. This shows that members need space to grow individually, but RM also always emphasizes that BTS is home for them. In the Festa dinner in 2022 before announcing the hiatus, he said they don't want to disband. They just need time to mature. Jimin, who just finished military service, in several live broadcasts said he's excited to reunite with members and make music again. He also hinted about upcoming projects he's already prepared. What's interesting is Jin's approach is super chill and not rushed. He's more focused on enjoying the process rather than chasing achievements. This is refreshing. Shows that maybe BTS's post-military approach will be different from their pre-hiatus era. Jungkook, with 7, and his Golden album showed that he has big ambitions for his solo career. He successfully penetrated the Western market with full English songs and collaborations with major artists. The question is, will Jungkook be satisfied returning to group dynamics after tasting solo success? Or will he push for more solo opportunities even after the group comeback? V's Layover showed his very artistic and jazzy side. He clearly has a vision that's different from typical K-pop sound. In interviews, he often says he wants to explore different genres and doesn't want to be stuck in one style. Jimin's Face and Muse are very personal and emotional. He poured his struggles with self-identity and expectations into his music. Jimin always emphasizes his connection with ARMY and how meaningful that relationship is to him. J-Hope, who became the first member to enlist, showed maturity and responsibility. His album, Jack in the Box, is dark and introspective, very different from his usual persona. He's clearly growing as an artist. Suga, or August D, is arguably the most independent among the members. He has a clear artistic vision and isn't afraid to speak his mind. The World Tour, Suga August D Tour, was super successful, showing he can stand alone. From all their solo projects and statements, there's one common thread. They're all growing as individuals. They all experienced life outside the BTS bubble. They tasted creative freedom and individual success. The big question is, after all that, will their dynamics as a group change? Most likely, yes. But is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. Many legendary groups experienced evolution. The Beatles evolved drastically from an early cute boy band to experimental rock artists. BTS can also evolve into something new that reflects their current maturity and individual growth. Let's explore some possible scenarios for BTS's future and their relationship with HYBE. This is the most expected scenario by fans. BTS come back as 7. Full album, world tour, award shows, variety shows, basically business as usual. They continue with HYBE, maintain their status as the flagship group. Probability, medium-high. This is the safest option and most profitable for all parties. Pros, fans happy, HYBE's stock price rises, guaranteed success. Cons, might not be sustainable long-term. Members have tasted individual freedom and might feel constrained. BTS renews contract for group activities only, but free to pursue solo careers outside HYBE. Members can create their own labels or join other agencies for solo work. Probability, medium. This is an increasingly common model in K-pop. Pros, best of both worlds. Members have freedom, but can still reunite for BTS projects. Cons, complicated legally and logistically. Could create scheduling conflicts. BTS stays at HYBE, but with dramatically different terms. Maybe they become shareholders or have their own sublabel under HYBE, where they have full creative control. Probability, medium-high. This makes sense business-wise and gives members more ownership. Pros, members have control while leveraging HYBE's resources. Cons, might create tension with management if there are creative differences. BTS remains as a group officially, but increasingly focuses on solo activities. Group comebacks become occasional events, maybe once every 2 to 3 years. Probability, medium. This is a natural progression for senior groups. Pros, less pressure, more artistic freedom, sustainable long-term. Cons, fans who expect frequent group content might be disappointed. The most radical option, BTS leaves HYBE entirely, creates their own agency, or goes fully independent. They manage everything themselves. Probability, low. This is very risky and requires huge investment. Pros, total control over their career, legacy, and profits. Cons, massive administrative burden, risk of failure, loss of HYBE's global infrastructure. Based on all evidence and patterns in the industry, most likely is a combination of scenarios 1 and 3. BTS will come back strong in 2025 with full support from HYBE, but with terms that give them significantly more control and profit share than before. They'll probably have creative control over music and concepts, better profit distribution, more say in scheduling and workload, option to pursue solo projects with minimal restrictions, and possibly an equity stake in HYBE or sublabel ownership. This is a win-win scenario. HYBE keeps their biggest asset, and BTS gets the respect and compensation they deserve. Before we close, there are several important messages that need to be conveyed, both for fans and for the industry. For fellow ARMY, first, prepare for change. The BTS that will come back won't be the same as the BTS we knew before. They're older, wiser, more experienced. Their music and message might be different, and that's okay. Growth is good. Second, support them unconditionally, but not blindly. If we see red flags about mistreatment or exploitation, speak up, but don't be toxic. There's a difference between constructive criticism and hate. Third, respect their choices. If they decide to slow down, focus more on solo activities, or even eventually disband, respect that. They gave us more than a decade of incredible music and memories. They don't owe us anything. Fourth, take care of your own mental health. Fandom can be exhausting. It's okay to take breaks from fandom drama and just enjoy the music. For HYBE and the industry, first, treat artists as humans, not products. The toxic culture revealed in leaked documents is unacceptable. Artists are the reason the company exists, not the other way around. Second, be transparent. Fans and the public appreciate honesty. Hidden agendas and corporate speak create distrust. Third, innovate the contract system. The traditional trainee-to-idol pipeline with restrictive contracts is outdated. Companies that adapt with more artist-friendly terms will thrive in the long run. Fourth, invest in mental health support. Proper counseling, reasonable schedules, and a supportive environment should be standard, not luxury. For industry watchers and media, stop sensationalizing every little thing. Not every hiatus is a disbandment. Not every solo project means the group is breaking up. Responsible reporting matters. So, for the final answer about why does BTS stay if HYBE prefers other artists? The truth is, their relationship with HYBE is complicated. It's not black and white. There's loyalty, practical considerations, financial incentives, emotional attachments, creative considerations. Everything plays a role. What's certain is this: BTS built HYBE. Without BTS, HYBE wouldn't exist as the powerhouse it is today. And HYBE knows that. The company's entire strategy for 2025 and beyond heavily relies on BTS's comeback. But BTS also needs HYBE, or at least some form of agency support. Being fully independent sounds romantic, but the reality is it's incredibly difficult, especially for a group with the scale of BTS. The ideal scenario is a truly equitable partnership, where BTS is treated as partners, not just employees, where their contribution is recognized and fairly compensated, where they have a voice in decisions that affect their career. Is their current arrangement already ideal? We don't know for sure, but the fact that they chose to re-sign suggests that at minimum, the arrangement is acceptable to them. 2025 will be the year that defines the next chapter of BTS's story. Will it be triumphant? Will there be challenges? Most likely, a combination of both. But one thing is certain, BTS's impact on music, on K-pop, on global culture is already cemented. Whatever happens next, their legacy is secure. And for us as fans, our job is to support them, celebrate their achievements, and respect their journey wherever it may lead. Because at the end of the day, BTS is 7 individuals with dreams, fears, ambitions, and the right to choose their own path. And whatever path they choose, that's the right path, because it's theirs to choose. Thank you for watching until the end. This video is really long, but this topic deserves a proper deep dive. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments section. What are your predictions for BTS in 2025? Are you optimistic or worried? Let's have a respectful discussion. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell for more deep K-pop analysis content like this. And share this video to spread awareness about the issues we discussed today. Remember, we purple you, and most importantly, we respect the choices of 7 individuals who happen to be our favorite artists. See you in the next video. Stay safe, stay kind, and stay supportive of our boys. Bora Heat.